Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of For Sits and Gigs. Today with me I have Nick Moriarty of Nicolas Cage Fighter.
Hey.
Hey mate.
How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So you lead vocals on Nic Cage Fighter and you also have the coolest surname ever out of all my friends.
Debatable, but I'll take the title. Thank you.
What do you mean debatable? It's fucking cool.
I think, maybe it's just because I'm used to hearing it. It doesn't really have the same ring, but yeah, if you reckon it's cool, I'll take it.
I will, alright? How did you get your start into the band? Because obviously you weren't in the original lineup.
Yeah.
You've only been with them for a short period.
Yeah, a little bit over a year now. So, I've always been involved around the music scene, but since I was probably 15 or 16 or so. So I knew Justin from just going to gigs and hanging out and whatnot. And funnily enough, went to a couple of their gigs when I was younger as well, so I was a fan of their music. And then, it was probably around about July or August last year when Korova did the final metal show there. Justo swung me a message and asked if I actually just wanted to fill in and just actually get up on stage for the one show because, they'd parted ways with old mate from a handful of years ago. And then, we were just jamming and practicing everything, and the guys wanted to actually get back into doing it, and I'd never been in a band before, but always wanted to. So when Justin said, they want to take it seriously and they actually want to keep doing it, do you want to as well? I was like, well, fuck yeah, why am I not going to say yes to that?
So, before that gig, did you have to sit there for days or a week or anything, just practicing lyrics over and over and over again?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's actually funny because, I've never been in a band, but I've always kind of been a cover artist kind of guy. I've put up God knows how many fucking videos online of me just fucking yelling away in my bedroom. So it was basically the same as that. I probably didn't have to listen to the songs for that long because I'd already actually listened to them a handful a bit, sort of relatively recently. A couple of songs took a bit to wrap around, but yeah, just basically spent a couple of weekends here and there just practicing it all, getting it all down, and then that was that.
So did you have any official experience in music beforehand, or
nothing I suppose really official. I've jumped up on stage with mates bands and done little guesties here and there and fucking had the mic thrown at me at gigs and whatnot occasionally from just yelling at people's faces at shows. But aside from that, this is actually the first proper official thing. I do have the project down in Melbourne. I think I might have told you about that at some point, me and some mates.
Sure, no.
Yeah, that'll be coming God knows fucking when. That's been in the works for 4 years now. We are useless and great at procrastinating, but getting there.
That's just part of anyone's role in a band, really. It's just procrastination.
Yeah.
So
it
just goes to show you are a musician.
Yeah, exactly. You're not a proper musician if you don't spend the majority of your time just talking shit and then just getting wasted, right? That's what we do. That's what musicians are.
That's just writing, really.
Yeah, that's our creative process. Yeah.
So that actually works well into my next question. As a vocalist myself, I've always wondered, screaming. Did that come quite naturally, or was that something you just...
It took a bit of practice at first, working out exactly the proper sensation of how to create that tone definitely takes a little bit to wrap your head around. I actually worked out my main technique by accident. I did it by getting frustrated because there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I won't go into the anatomy of it because I'll ramble about it for fucking ages, but I was working on one particular style that I wasn't doing properly anyway. And then I got really, really fucking pissy with myself because I couldn't do it. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! And then it's just been natural from there.
That's fantastic.
And then I know, a real professional way to actually to learn it, eh?
Well, that's the thing. It's not something I'm only just doing vocal lessons now, and I can guarantee that screaming does not come up at any point. So it's really something that I'd assume if you wanted to learn, you'd either learn from someone else that does it, or you just have to sit there on YouTube and practice, I guess. But,
everybody who has yelled or screamed at any point in their life has definitely gone on YouTube. How do I scream? How do I do metal vocals? It's definitely a thing. But the best way is just practice it. Just find out what works and feels comfortable. And kind of I don't know if you do this with if other people do it for singing or how you've done it for your vocals as well. But I find just listening to bands and singers that I like and then just trying to emulate that sound. That's the best way to sort of build your range.
Getting into singing for me was just years of drunken karaoke to begin with. So it was all about emulating other people's voices. But it was also the best way, I suppose, to find where my vocal range was at the same time and really go, hang on, I can't sing hard rock because I sing quite high. Fuck. But then once you embrace it, it's a whole new world. Like,
Yeah, because then you work out sort of what your range is and you can focus on what really
it's
works
like,
best for
I
you.
can't do like I can't do heavy shit like Seven Dust, but I can do like Carnival because he's got a high voice. Like, you know, it's you just sort of you work around it. But
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah, it's like anything, you just put the time into it. It comes after a while.
Now, obviously, that gig was your first and last at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
But I had a question in the back of my mind, and I don't know if you've considered it at all, but since you've joined the band, have you contemplated wearing a Nicolas Cage mask on stage?
I've never thought about that. I should do it. I actually should, but like there's two, like what kind of mask would I wear? Because like you've got the one from, like there's the bees. Yeah,
literally just, well, you could either, put a cage on your head or just bees. Just bees.
Bees! Yeah, I'll like dig myself into the stage and put a sandpit around my neck.
Or
actually, I suppose
I've
got
better,
the hair for like the flowing hair in the wind.
To get even more meta, you could get a mask of John Travolta and it'd be like Face Off.
Oh.
Because you'd be like, idea. I am Nic Cage, but I'm wearing John Travolta's face because that's how...
I have no idea what that reference is to.
Oh my god, I'm so old.
Suck.
I'm so fucking old.
For reference, it's a movie, I'm going to assume, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm probably the least film buffed person you could ever meet. There's a lot of big movies I've never seen.
No, I asked for that. That is a very obscure old movie. Well, not old, but yeah.
I suppose I probably should know more about Nicolas Cage if I'm in Nicolas Cage Fighter.
Do you fucking research?
Yeah, my mistake. I've got a lot of homework to catch up on, apparently. Although I will happily steal the Declaration of Independence at any point in time.
Yeah, well, see, there's another one. Yeah. All right. The biggest thing that's happened recently, you guys have released a couple of singles,
yes.
But you just got a number one on the Unearthed Metal charts.
That's
fucking huge.
I think we're still there, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been
is that
like
2-3 weeks?
Close to 3. I don't think it's broken 3 yet, but it's been up there for a while. It's surreal. Really, really cool. Yeah.
I suppose that's another thing that sort of there's a benefit from COVID in that sense, is that not many people are writing at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you're getting shit out there, you're one of the only people getting shit out there, which is fucking great.
Yeah,
you get as much exposure as you can.
Yeah, 100%, man. It sucks for us because obviously, like everybody else, we really want to be playing gigs right now and we really want to be actually networking and out there doing our thing. But it's sort of been a perfect opportunity because thanks to just the fucking nature of social media and, algorithmic playlists and everything like that, us releasing music at the moment when there hasn't really been too much else that's new. I mean, obviously there's been some other big bands and other bands from around the Melbourne area that have been putting music out. Aside from that, it's been a really good time for us because there's not much out at the moment.
Well, that's the thing I noticed. Majority of what I've seen over the last 6 months have been covers. Like big bands just doing covers of stuff because they can get it out quick and easy. You know?
Or like live streamed at home gigs. That's really cool to see because obviously you can't go out and get kicked in the head by a stranger at the moment. So you can just body slam
I'm almost willing to say that I miss getting kicked in the head by strangers at this point. I'm willing to cop a flying knee from someone in a mosh.
I miss being concussed on like a regular basis. It's
I
just
miss
not the
seeing
same.
Photos of you injured.
I'm just waiting for that moment where my foot can just land on a puddle of beer that somebody else has left on a hardwood floor and I can just go fucking arse over.
So with the release of the singles, obviously you guys are working on something bigger and greater at the moment.
Yes, we are.
You've been recording, which is why you've been dodging me and not doing this interview.
I'm sorry. We got a lot to do. I'm good at procrastinating, okay?
Good. More content, yes. So you're working on an album, yes?
EP.
EP.
I suppose technically the same thing. Although there is an album coming eventually as well.
How many tracks?
So on this release, we've got 5 in total with the 2 singles that we've put out as well. We are going to do another single release that's going to be at some point soon. I have no idea when that is, so it could very well be out when this comes out. Who knows?
It could be, actually. Well and truly. Yeah,
we'll see. We don't actually really know the release timelines yet because everything's been recording. Like, it's all done. We've just sent it away to old mate Roman to get everything mixed and mastered, who's been a gem to work with. He smashes it out and sounds a lot more polished and professional, which is good.
Is he local or?
No, he's out of Perth actually.
Perth? Wow, okay.
I think he was either like a Melbourne or a Sydney fella. He played guitar in the Red Shore.
Oh, right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that Roman.
Sick.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Well, again, and this sort of ties back to one of the previous questions about them being an established band and me sort of joining them. Is we've been very, very lucky that those guys already have the connections with the people in the industry. So when Roman actually heard from Justin, the dude who plays guitar in our band, that we were recording again, he straight away said, "I'll do it for you." And so it's been really good in that sense. But new EP out before. Well, hoping before December, but it might be around about December, maybe a bit later. And then, got already started works on the album for next year or the year after.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Now, this might be a tough question because you don't really have anything to compare it to, but personally, how has the recording experience been for you?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really strange. I think it's just... Coming from being a cover artist, I'm used to just mimicking what somebody else does. I've just got a structure that I just duplicate it, and then I can put my own little sorts of variances on it. But actually, like, writing and recording is a lot more difficult than I thought. It's really weird. Like, if I'm just listening to shit at home, I can come up with an idea that I think is really cool, and I can sort of jot it down and I can take it. But then when it comes time for me to actually record it, it's like reverse stage fright almost. Yeah. If that, I'm sure you're familiar with that. Yes, I'm sure anybody else is.
I think it's that. I think it's there's a block in your head that says you're so used to mimicking others that when you need to find your own voice, it's one of the hardest fucking things in the world.
100%. It's really.
It's easy to put pen to paper and write, but to try and translate that to your vocals when you're not used to it is a huge thing.
It really is. Yeah. But in a way, it's actually been really good because, like, I don't know about you, but I'm a real perfectionist and I'm incredibly anal. So every time we would do something... This might sound a little bit different to you then. Like every time we'd write and record something, I would be like recording it and be like, yeah, this sounds cool. And then I'd listen to it a day later and be like, this fucking sucks. Yeah. I would just want to scrap it and start again. But it's been good because... thanks to being limited by time and resources and money and whatnot, I've just had to say, screw it, this is it. Yeah. I'm leaving it at this level, and then just...
I understand it in a sense, like, especially, I suppose music is the only thing where I am 100% my own worst critic, you know? And especially when it comes to writing your own stuff, because it's precious. You don't want people to read it. You don't want people to judge you, but you know they're going to say it's good. But you're like,
are you saying that because you think it's good, or you're saying it because you know me? Yeah, I fully get that, and it's also even harder as well if you listen to a lot of music because you're always comparing whatever it is that you write to everything else that you listen to. It's like, is this on par with what I want to be doing?
And how much freedom have you had with writing so far as this is concerned?
Pretty decent amount, to be honest. The guys have actually been really good. They've sort of said from the start, this is like the general kind of sound that we want to aim towards, and so I've sort of made some adjustments in, like, you know, the vocal techniques I use, because, you know, I've always been about like just dumb, stupid, heavy stuff as opposed to stuff that you can actually somewhat understand. So stylistically, I've definitely pulled the reins in a little bit, which has been good because it's given me a chance to get more consistent at that, which has always been a harder part of my range, so good challenge. But in terms of like the lyrics that I've written, they just again had general themes, which actually really well matched up with what I wanted to do, so that was pretty cohesive. And then when it came to the actual writing and the phrasing, I've just fucking winged the whole thing.
Of course,
I've just like heard what they've written, and then I've just listened to it over and over and over and thought, yeah, this sounds cool. And then run with it from there.
Yeah, nice.
They seem pleased so far, which is pretty good.
Still in the band.
Yes, yeah, thankfully. Yeah.
As a sign of all this, today I went out to my mailbox and there was a pamphlet in there. Oh, yeah. And I was like, this will be perfect to actually give to Nick today because, you know, you're in a metal band, so obviously you need Jesus in your life. So here's something that appeared in my mailbox today.
Mate.
About revelations and how the world's going to end.
Final warning. Fucking A. He's not giving me much leeway here, is he? Actually, he's probably given me a lot of leeway throughout the life. He wants to save me. Come out of her, my people. I'd rather come in her, to be honest.
From personal experience, it's much more better.
It definitely is. Loz is going to be watching this like, who the fuck's her? Who are you coming into?
I'm sorry, Loz. I do not endorse this. We're still friends, right? Anyway. So the big question that everyone gets, how has COVID and lockdown basically affected you creatively and or financially?
We're probably actually in a weird one in this case. Still the classic double-edged sword. It's been good and the bad. The bad being, of course, that, we can't go to gigs, we can't go out and network with people. We haven't really had much of an opportunity to actually just do anything as a group. Like, we haven't really jammed very much because there's been like the restrictions of people's in groups. And Davo's Misso's got, like, she's like very sensitive to any kind of illnesses and diseases at the moment, so we have to be incredibly careful that if we're in, because 3 of us are still actually working, ties into the good side of things. We're probably encountering all kinds of illnesses at the moment, so we got to be really careful. That sucks, but it's been good because without having to spend the money on food and accommodation and travel to go and play the gigs, even just down in Melbourne or around the Ballarat area and whatnot, we've been able to just dedicate this entire time to writing and recording and getting everything out there online. So it probably actually has worked out for the better for us, honestly. But I definitely can't fucking wait for this all to be done so we can...
Well, yeah, you working in retail, you've obviously been the forefront of all of this. And on behalf of me and you, I will just say, if people could just have some fucking respect, please. We just want to do our job and go the fuck home at this stage.
Mate, if I have to have another person get surprised that we don't have exactly what they want in stock. It's like, you need a fucking printer for work to work at home. Don't get shitty with me because we don't have one. And everybody wants them at the moment.
I mean, also, it's not hard, like, especially with the way your website works, is literally just go on, you look at the product, it actually tells you if it's in store, or if there's one in Geelong, or wherever you need to go.
But why would you're telling me that you actually have to press the search button to check for my postcode for my area?
Believe it or not, I research before I leave the house.
Fuck off, who does that?
I don't know, obviously some kind of meticulous fucking madman.
What are you, a fucking sadist? You're trying to make my life easier here?
I'm sorry. I'm just here to bring joy to the world like Jesus. And to wrap it all up, the one question I've sort of been asking everyone is what do you think the biggest thing you'll take away from this sort of last 6 months is?
That when we actually have to play gigs and when we come time to record the next album, I actually need to dedicate a lot more time to practicing. I have wasted so much time in this COVID. Like I said, great opportunity to learn and practice. Haven't utilised it very well myself.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're very similar to me in the sense that, well, I know I've wasted a lot of fucking time on video games over the last 6 months instead of practicing music.
Fucking Call of Duty, it's so much more fun than I remember it being. I didn't play it back since like the first Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, and then got into it, and I don't do much else now.
I tried. I started to, and then I realised I had to download like 100 gig worth of data to my Xbox, and I was like,
How good's the NBN?
We're still one of the worst countries in the world for internet. But yeah, no, the kids like Jay and that have been trying to get me into it, and I suck. I was so much better at just standard multiplayer, and now that I have to do work in a team, I'm not as good.
Dude, it's one of those things where like you're either on for the day or you are off for the day. Because you got to play the multiplayer to get warmed up. If you just jump in straight into Warzone, you're gonna want to break your television. But if you now,
in all fairness, like some of my favourite games are like Dark Souls and stuff like that. So
you are a sadist.
Yeah.
I've actually been playing Ninja Gaiden again, the OG Dark Souls.
Yeah,
because it finally went back up on the Microsoft Store on Xbox, so you can play it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that used to drive me fucking mental.
I forgot how fucking hard it is, man. Yeah, I haven't been shitty with a game in so long. Fun as though.
I wasn't until I got so as much as I love these games and I appreciate them since I was a kid, I got the Super Mario 3D package for the Switch, and then quickly realised how much I fucking hate platformers. I hate platformers, and yet I keep buying. I bought the new Crash Bandicoot. Don't know why. I fucking hate it.
There's an answer for this, and I think it starts with sadist.
Alright, I'm going to need a new title, I think. Or maybe just name a new band or something. I don't know. But I think you're right.
I reckon we're going to have to work it in there. I'm sure we can find a way to fit it into shits and gigs. Apparently I'm having a stroke right now for shits and gigs.
This is not live, so don't worry about calling 000 and trying to get him help.
He's still good though. He is still good.
Well, thank you for coming on today, Nick. It's been a ball.
Thanks for having me. It's been good.
We will do this again at some stage, hopefully when the album's out, or even the EP.
I like the sound of that a lot.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to have people back on sort of once we've done this first series of interviews before it becomes a real podcast and a real thing, and I'm a real boy.
Awesome. I'm a real boy. I'm a real boy.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Fuck health and safety. Yeah.